Hi guys, this is Clarissa, your instructor for Writing 303, Public Writing, Public Rhetoric. I wanted to walk you through the final campaign project instructions. The final project is due on April 29th at 11 p.m. You have a great deal of time to complete this project. It's due in Sakai assignments, but I want you to be very, very mindful of your time because there are multiple components and you have to pace yourself. Now, I didn't hold your feet over the fire deliberately in the syllabus with regard to this piece is due and then this piece is due because I know at the end of the semester you have internships, you have other obligations, you have other finals, and I want you to place these things in a way on your calendar in between now and the 29th of April at 11 p.m. that's most useful for your schedule, as long as it gets done and done professionally and very appropriate to what we've been committed to all semester. So let's talk a little bit about this. And I'm walking you through the instruction sheet, which is available, I'm attached to both your feedback on your proposal as well as this email. So let's go through it. Okay, so of course you're creating a WordPress site. That's what will house all of the elements of your final campaign project. The expectation is, and I will not go over this a lot because at a 300 level course, I think it's redundant for me to say this, but MLA style is the expectation. You will be expected to use properly formatted in-text citations as well as a properly formatted works cited page MLA style. And if you don't know how to do that, you should just look it up. It's very simple. It's nothing to memorize. It's just something to reference. So the campaign should absolutely must include a research essay. I'm calling it a research essay, research writing, because that is essentially what's bolstering up the writing that you have on your website in this section. So you must have 1,000 to 1,200 words, which we are familiar with lengthwise. That it's very different than what we've been writing during the semester. During the semester, you've been surveying and assessing other people's public writing projects. Now you're creating a public writing project of your own. So you are not duplicating what you did in the semester writing. This is different writing. This is a essay. This is closer to a research essay. So let's talk about that. Essentially, you have named the topic or issue or problem that you want to work on. You told me that in your proposal. Now, what we have to do in this essay is to show the current discussion um, of your issue or problem. You have to have 8 to 10 research artifacts from journal articles, TED Talks, news reports, documentaries. You know how to do this. You've done this a 1,000 times. This is a research essay that is in support of the issue or topic or problem that you have outlined in your proposal, right? In addition to providing that in this 1,000 to 1,200 word research writing, you're going to show us the ties that you see between your project and the public rhetoric, public writing discussion that we've been in all semester. So all semester you have been situating other people's projects into that conversation. Now you're telling us how your project engages Greece, engages Ed Bauer Rice, it engages Warner. How are all of those people seated around a table going to talk about your project? That must also be included in this writing. So, two things. One is a research essay where you show us the sources and the discussion around your topic or problem, right? Very standard, 8 to 10 research artifacts. That's pretty standard. And then you're going to tie it into the conversation that we've been engaged in all semester. And you've done such an awesome job on that. I'm not concerned about that at all. I know you'll pop right back into that. So for the remaining components, I want to do a little bit of calibrating, right? Because I want it to be as easy as possible for us to wrap our minds around it, because it's really exciting and a really great opportunity to be creative if you approach it this way. So, for the following components, reflect on the semester's artifacts and synthesis exercises. So, the best event plan, which is number one, the first thing we're going to go over in a minute, the visual rhetoric and the outreach strategy should be determined by the location of the audience that you want to partner with. We're thinking about Warner's definition of Publix. Who are you trying to get to select your project? That's what we're doing. This is who you are trying to attract. Where are they located? So, for example, if I am trying to do something to really get writing out there that will draw 80-year-old World War II veterans, am I really going to put that on Snapchat? Am I really going to locate that in Netflix? I don't really know if that's where that public is hanging out, right? Or if that's the type of event that that public goes to, right? I'm probably going to think of something that would be appropriate for the VA, the Veterans Administration, or something like that. So, what I'm saying is really think about the nature of your public. Where do they hang out, and where are they most likely to engage what it is you're putting in front of them? So, are they at a poetry performance like they were for Acevedo and Poet X? Are they at a are they reading a book? Because she wanted to get more publics than just the people who would come to a reading, a poetry slam. She wanted to get people who would just click the one click button on Amazon too. So it was in a book as well. Are your people for your public watching a documentary? Are you going to have to plan a documentary event? Right? I'm not asking you to create a documentary, but you certainly have to plan one if that is where your public is located. Right? So, are they likely to attend a rally? What city would that rally be in? And why would it need to be in that city? Or would your public be attending a fancy ball, wanting to wear formal wear for a fundraising dance? Are they more likely to show up there, right? And so you, as an event planner, create an event that will be most likely to situate your writing, your project in the middle of the public that you want to attract. Where might your project's public be found? And I really want you to establish that in your mind before you proceed with the remaining components that we're going to talk about, right? So, event planning. On your website, there must be a section where it's very evident where you have thought through the event. As I said before, if you were to choose documentary, of course, there's no time for us to do a documentary in the remaining um, not a good one in what remains in our semester, but absolutely you can plan one. You can plan where it would be, how you would cast it. You could show us a sample of the script. You could tell us what the mission of it would be. You all of those things are doable for event planning. If you were having a ball, a formal ball, where would you have it? Who would be invited? What would be the attire? What would be the program? The order of events of your program? What is the mission of it? What are they talking about there? And most importantly, what would you consider a successful event? Is it because at the end of the night you've raised $50,000? Is it because at the end of the night you've raised awareness? Is it because at the end of the night you sold 2,000 books? What is a successful event for you, right? So, if you have an event that is a theme day at a local museum, or a 3-day conference, or a presentation at Providence Comic Con, or a 1-week Bahama Outer Island nature retreat. I mean, I think with that one, I'm projecting a little bit because that's where I want to be right now. You have to tell us transportation. Which island? What are the facilities available there? What time of year are you having people come? Who are you inviting? What will they do when they get there? What will be considered a successful event around your project, the issue that you have in your heart to bring before them? It must be evident that you have thought this through a real executable plan. Be creative, but also be professional. So the next component that you must think through is the visual rhetoric. You're required to include a minimum of 10 visual elements. Guys, with regard to this, MLA is still applicable. If you're using other people's photography, you have to say where you got it. You have to let us know where the obviously it's still intellectual property. So you it's still applicable, right? So you want to consider logo. You want to consider t-shirt design, clip art, stock photos, graphs, charts, anything visual that will continue the narrative that you're putting before the public that you hope to attract. Okay? And of course, if it's a WordPress site, you should begin, the first visual element should be a banner, which you could create very easily in many different places, but canva.com is a pretty awesome place to do that as well. So an outreach strategy. The outreach strategy is different for everyone, but you have to look at your project and make a decision about how am I going to get, okay, I have this great research in the form of an essay, and I have this great event planned. And I've put all of the images together, and it's amazing. But it's only on my laptop. Outreach strategy is how are you going to get this in front of your people? The people that you want to select your project, how are you going to get this in front of them? Are they drivers who are going down 95 every day and you're going to get a billboard? And this is what the billboard is, the images are going to say. Is it because you're going to put it on Instagram and you're going to put together 5 posts, and I'm going to put every Tuesday, I'm going to run this post, and these are the hashtags because this is going to get this issue in front of my people? Or is it going to be in the form of where are your people located? And how will you let them know that you've created this great thing that you want them to select? It must be apparent that you have thought through the best way that you're going to connect with your public, right? So for all of these reasons, I'm urging you, please, please, please don't wait until the last minute to start this project. Don't wait until the last minute. Be sure that you open up your phone right now, open up your calendar, and have increments where you are going to accomplish elements, the components of this project before the 29th. You have tons of time, but I want to be sure that you give yourself time to do a good job and something that you're proud of. Please contact me with questions. It's been an awesome semester, but we're not there yet.